Why do you hate dogs? Why do you hate dogs? That's what people always ask me. Or, why do you hate dog culture? Like, what is your, like, problem? um, why does dog culture hate kids? Anytime we research any negative externality about dog culture, all we got to do is keyword search the articles, the scientific studies, the firsthand knowledge, all of the stories from policemen, all of the stories from shelter workers. Any story, all we got to do is keyword search for children. Just do a control F. Here we have a study about the worm that comes from dog feces. This mostly affects children. It makes them go blind. Yes, children. And also, in any time we see one of these studies, they tell us to modify the behavior of your child. Modify the behavior of their child. If you had like a woodshed that had a chainsaw and sharp axes, and your kid went in there and got cut, you would say, get a better lock for the woodshed. You wouldn't say, like, teach your kid to not go in the woodshed or teach your kid better chainsaw safety. You would adjust the woodshed to be safer for your tiny little kid. But when it comes to kids and dogs, worms that cause blindness, ocular toxocariasis, oh, they just tell you need to teach your kids different habits. Notice it says teaching your kid to not eat dirt or soil. What's up with that? Do kids like really consume it? That's weird. So, did you know that there are 800 studies that say the soil based organisms from soil can help you with all of these? And they're not saying like eat dirt, but soil based organisms in healthy soil. Like if you had a garden, or if you got organic food, or if you were just playing in the dirt. Like going on your mountain bike, or playing in the soccer in the dirt, playing in the rain. Kids always play around in the dirt in the playgrounds, at school. So you get a little dirt in your face, you get a little dirt in your eyes. And evidently, those 800 studies um, say that those organisms help your microbiome. So CDC says tell your kids not to eat dirt. This study says dirt organisms can be good for your body. However, I want you guys to have a look at what they had to throw in here. Look at this. They tell you to get a dog because dogs bring in dirt that your kids, look what it says right here, may breathe and enter through the skin. So they're admitting that this dirt that your dog brings in will get into your body through your skin. However, they're not telling you about all the nasty parasites in here. So isn't it funny that they have to insert this dog propaganda? And of course, they're going to talk about allergies. If you go look at these studies, they're not actually quite telling you the truth here. Kids have less allergy symptoms from being around dogs, and it's largely because their immune systems have a ton of antibodies for the nastiness of dogs, which is fine, except for their immune system is being overworked by that, and later in life they get sick. And if you look at our health system and how many health problems we have, that's true. And so all this goobly garp about putting your kids around dogs helping them with allergies is actually false. And here is a study about ocular toxocariasis. It's sight loss from that worm from dogs. And again, if we type in children for the keyword search, as you can see, children are the ones that are being hammered by this nastiness. Every thing in here is about children. It says the children do not complain because the children don't notice the sight loss. Children just think it's normal, but then they end up losing their sight. Children present with vision loss or squint. So this worm is causing all these problems for kids, and as their eyes start to have problems, they don't know what's up, so the parents don't find out until their kids have terrible vision loss. So what are some of the risk factors of this eye loss? Well, just have a look right here. In puppies 2 to 6 months old, the prevalence of Toxocara canis has been reported to be over 80%. Ownership of puppies and kittens, especially young dogs. So, the more you have little puppies around little kids, the more they're going to get this in their body. Even if they don't go blind, it is affecting their microbiome in a bad way. I did another short video on that. It'll be in the description. So the risk factors for this nasty worm from dogs is being young and being around little puppies. Yet we're constantly putting kids in hospitals and schools and in our homes all up with puppies, letting puppies lick on them and everything else. Notice what it says in the history. The majority of patients will either own or have exposure to a dog or cat. Now, in our modern culture, what animal is more prevalent? The dog. And as with the other studies, I went ahead and did the little keyword search. Children. All of these nasty things with dogs largely affect children. So everyone that asks me, what's their problem with dogs? I don't know. What's your problem with human children? Keyword search. The disease manifests in children and early adolescents. However, it also affects other people. And not everybody completely loses their sight. The symptoms can be decreased vision, pain, photophobia, and floaters. The therapy is anti-parasitic therapy. Notice so many more diseases are being helped. Mental diseases with anti-parasitic drugs. What does that tell us if we run the equation backwards? Everybody took a basic algebra class, right? If we're using anti-parasite therapy to help us with all these new diseases, then there must be a parasite. Where's the parasite coming from? Notice how they mentioned blood-brain barrier penetration. I mentioned that in the other video. These parasites from pet dander can get through the blood-brain barrier. So, with all of these kids around the world having more and more eye problems, why is it that everybody out there wants to keep putting kids around little puppies that are shedding Toxocara canis and hurting kids? And of course, that hurts the parents too, because now the parents have to suffer. Their kid goes blind, they don't get to raise the kid and show the kid all the beautiful things in the world. Just think of it. All the kids on these bikes, they don't need dogs. They don't need dog turds sticking to their bike tires. They can laugh and have fun and cruise around the neighborhood and hang out with their big brothers and parents and see all the beautiful sights and hear all the beautiful things to be heard. No dog barking, no poop on their shoes, hanging out with their human friends. How amazing would that be? So dog culture people, why do you hate kids?